Hello action figure fans, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This video goes up on Friday, so this is Fightni Friday. This time I am reviewing the Street Fighter real action figure made by Jada Toys. This was released in 2023. I bought this in 2024. Here it is in a very nice window box. I like the window packaging so we can see the action figure and the accessories that it comes with. And this is an especially nice window packaging because it looks like it is meant to simulate one of the old arcade game systems with a couple of controllers for two players to fight against each other. So very nice packaging design. So here's the front. This bottom part sticks out a little bit to show the controllers. Here is the top with a window there. It lets in more light and a hook to put it on a peg. Here is the bottom with some manufacturing information. Here is one side of the package and the other side of the package. Here is the back. This shows the action figures in this particular way, but it looks like Ryu, Chun-Li, and Fei Long. And then the old Street Fighter style picture of the characters in the game. So it looks like we'll be getting all of these other action figures later on. So I will open this up and review the action figure in just a moment. Here are the accessories that come with the real action figure. We get an extra head. This one has a more angry expression. That's a nice sculpted detail there. Some sculpted work on the hair and very soft pliable plastic for the headband. And it pegs in. Got a peg hole there to peg into the neck. We get an extra pair of hands, some sort of fighting, gripping hands. So nicely sculpted and painted. They have hinges and the hinges work. So that's pretty nice there. And then we get his fireball effect piece here. Very smooth on this one side, and then flames on the back. It looks like there's a couple of hands inside. And this comes with a stand. The stand has some joints there, so we can put the fireball at different levels. And it just pegs in to a hole there on the fireball effects piece. So very nice addition. Very good for creating a display or diorama with Ryu using his superpower on his opponent. Here is Ryu out of the packaging. Let's see how tall this action figure is. Looks like just a hair over 6 inches tall, or almost 15.5 centimeters tall. So nicely sized action figure. Let's take a look at some of the details here. Here's a more calm expression head sculpt with the same soft pliable plastic headband. Looks more like the cartoony image rather than a realistic image, so that looks pretty good. And then he has his outfit here. I think this part is called the gi. And very soft, pliable plastic. Extremely soft and pliable. And actually I think we can pull this belt off. There's a peg here. We can pull this off, take the belt off, and then remove the entire gi. Because it looks like looks like it just folds over there. So I might do that later because there's some nice detail underneath. But this part here, very soft pliable plastic, nice texturing on it. Looks good. It has some detailed muscles here, and it looks like it has pinless joints. And some nice texturing on the legs here. Also pinless joints there. and peg holes on the heels of the feet, and a little more detail on the back here. So it looks like a very nice action figure. Let's take a look at the articulation. With the head, you can look up that much and look down that much and turn side to side. There's some head tilting, very nice, and I think very small butterfly joints. It seems to jiggle a little bit, but not very much. We can move his shoulders up this high. There's some tight ratcheting in there. So some ratcheted joints in there. So that part is working. And his arms will hang straight down. So very loud ratcheted joints there. You can go all the way around. And he has bicep cuts. So that is working on both sides. So I like that. He has double jointed elbows. Let's find his elbows there. His elbows go in this far. So that's very good there. This one goes in this far. So very nice range. So I'm happy about that. And they're not too tight. They do have some ratcheted joints there. The wrist can turn, and there's a hinge. So that one works a little bit. There we go. And this side, that works. The hinge works, and it also twists. Now in the body here, we do have a diaphragm cut. So you can crunch forward and back just a little bit. The soft pliable plastic is hindering the articulation just a little bit, but we can still get some nice motion with everything attached. There's also a waist joint, which I think is a ball peg, so it does twist just a little bit, and with ball joint at the waist and the diaphragm cut, so you can crunch forward quite a bit and go back that far. So it's pretty nice range of motion, but I can't really twist him very much, so I don't know if this piece is interfering with the twisting at the waist or not, but that's all right. At the hips, you can do the splits, so very impressive. So very good range of motion for a martial artist, and he can kick forward that far. That's pretty good. Kick back just a little bit. This side he can kick forward this far and kick back maybe just a little bit. We have upper thigh cut, so that is working. Very nice. This side is working. We also have double jointed knees. So these are working. That one is working there. You know, these are working nicely right out of the package, although it is a warm day today, so I did not have to heat up the joints, but they're working pretty nicely right out of the package. And that is working. So we'll straighten them out. There we go. And no boot cut here, but at the ankle we can turn the ankle. So that one is working. This one is working. He can also stand on his tippy toes. Well, I don't know if we can really get him to stand, but that's as far down as his feet will go. Then they go up this far. And we do have some ankle pivot. I'm not getting very much range of movement out of them. Maybe they're just a little bit stiff, but there is something there. It is working a little bit. So not very much motion, but just a tiny bit. So maybe I'll have to use a hairdryer to work on the ankle pivot, but everything else seems to be working pretty nicely. And can we get him to stand? There we go. We can remove the gi. It's not too hard to remove it. Here we have this belt here with a little hole here. This hole goes on a plastic piece that holds everything together, and then there's a little hole in this part that plugs in around the body, plugs into the little plastic piece on the gi here. And here's this little plastic piece that the belt and everything needs to plug in together on. So just line up the holes. If we can find the hole, it should all go together nicely. Well, shouldn't be too hard to find. But it'll all plug in together. There we go. And then just wrap the belt around it, around the body, and so that'll work. So not something I want to do too often, but I think this is meant to come off pretty easily, so we have more display options with the figure. Here is Ryu without the gi on, and we can see more details. So they did put a lot of work into the action figure underneath the gi, so it is meant to be taken off for some situations. Now here we can see that the butterfly joints are a bit bigger than I thought they were, so we should be able to get more motion out of them than when he had his gi on. So those are also kind of tightly ratcheted, but we do get some more motion there. And at the waist, yeah, it's not really just a waist twist. There's apparently a ball in there. If we move this back enough, we might be able to see part of where the hole is in the waist part, where the ball joint would go in. So we do get a lot of motion with that ball joint at the waist. Not much twisting. I'm a little afraid to keep twisting left to right, because I wonder if the ball is a little bit stuck in there, and if I'm twisting it, maybe I'm bending the plastic in there, so I don't really know what's happening in there. So I'm not going to try twisting it too much unless I can get a better idea of what's actually happening in there. But they did put in a lot of work into this action figure, lots of details that we don't see unless we take the gi off. So very nice looking action figure. Here Ryu is next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. On the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. And a regular size Ryu is very powerful, so a giant sized Ryu would be impossible to beat. So very cool. Here Ryu is next to a pair of 6-inch scale action figures. On the left is the Action Force Condor action figure by Valiverse. On the right is the Marvel Legends Master of Kung Fu Shang-Chi action figure by Hasbro. And Ryu fits in perfectly with the 6-inch scale action figures. Here Ryu is next to a pair of 7-inch scale action figures. On the left is the DC Multiverse Green Lantern Kyle Rayner action figure by McFarlane Toys. On the right is the Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure by Mattel. And Ryu could probably fit in the Masters of the Universe scale, although he's a bit small, but I'm sure Ryu could easily beat He-Man anyway. And real is probably too small for the DC multiverse scale, but I'm sure he'd be able to beat the Green Lantern Kyle Rayner because I'm sure real has more willpower. I am pretty happy with this Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 real action figure. I think it's a very nicely designed action figure based on the fun and exciting game. And I think the quality is very nice on this particular action figure. All the joints worked for me pretty nicely, pretty smoothly. Nothing really too tight. Maybe the ankle pivot is just a bit tight. It'll take some time to loosen it up very gently. So all in all, just a very nice looking action figure with a lot of incredible detail that they put underneath his gi. So they did put a lot of work into it front and back. So just a very nice high quality action figure. Pretty good deal for the price compared to other action figures at the same price that have less details. Even more expensive action figures are maybe not quite as sturdy as this. This is an interesting display or diorama piece. The fireball that he shoots out with his hand, and a nice display stand for the fireball. It does have some joints, but no screws in it, so hopefully it does not get too loose over time. But there are different ways we can display it at a different height. Although I think I just like the highest level here. It fits with his battle pose. So pretty impressive action figure by Jada Toys, and I hope all their future action figures will be just as good as this one. Thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this action figure, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future action figure reviews and commentary. I'll see you next time, action figure fans.